Hello, this presentation is about atoms, bonds, and structures. When metals and non-metals bond, it is called ionic bonding. This is where there is a transfer of electrons, and they become loose to become positive. If they're loose, they become positively charged ions. Non-metals gain and become negatively charged atoms. They are held together by strong elastic forces. An example of this is sodium chloride. Non-metal bonding is called covalent bonding. This is when non-metal atoms, electrons that are shared in atoms, achieve stable electron configuration. This is a strong bond. An example of this is H2O. Metals bonding is called metallic bonding. This is when atoms form lattice of positive ions. Their outer electrons called a C, decolorized electrons. They move freely around the structure, and an example of this is magnesium. Electronegativity is when an atom attracts shared electrons in a chemical bond. They attract with atomic size, nuclear charge, electron configuration. These chemical bonds based on electronegativity. There are ionic bonds, which are large difference. One atom, which metal, loses electronegativity. Electrostatic opposite atoms are held together. The larger they are, the more ionic the bond is. An example of this is sodium chloride. Covalent bonds they have similar electronegativities. Atoms share electrons. They're stable electron configuration. These are non-metals. Non-polar covalent bonds, these are, the difference is minimal and they have an equal share of electrons. An example of this is H2O. Polar covalent bonds have a moderate difference. The electrons are shared unevenly in this. They have partial positive and negative charge. Polar molecule cause a permanent dipole moment. They have greater electronegativity difference. They're more than polar bond. An example is a bond between hydrogen and oxygen water. Physical properties of substance are melting point, boiling point, solubility, conductivity, hardness, and color. Simple covalent is discrete molecules held by covalent bonds. They have low melting and boiling points. The gases, liquids, or soft solids at room temperature. Weak intermolecular forces in between single molecules, London dispersion forces, dipole-dipole interaction, and hydrogen bonding. Weak force allows molecule to move easily. Giant covalent is when lots of covalent bonds are throughout the structure. They have high melting and boiling points. Some of these are diamond, graphite, and silicon dioxide. Structure is strong covalent bonds in 3 dimensions: network, hard, and solubility. Ionic is positively charged metal ions, and negative non-metals are held by electrostatic forces. It has a high melting and boiling point. A lot of energy is needed to break bonds insoluble in water. Metallic is copper and iron. These decolorized electrons surround positive charged metal ions. Electrons allow easy moving and high electroconductivity. This makes metals lustrous, malleable, and ductile. Electron pair repulsive therapy is electron pairs orbit around and central atom. They stay away from sphere shape. The shape of a molecule or polymatic ion is predicted by this theory. Linear, triangle, planar, trigonal, pyramidal, and austral are some of these. Linear has 2 electron groups and 0 lone pairs. Trigonal planar has 3 electron groups and 0 lone pairs. Trigonal bipyramidal has 4 electron groups and 1 lone pairs. octahedral, has 6 electron groups and 0 lone pairs. Ion shapes and molecule shapes, they are different because molecules are neutral ions and positive or negative charge. Molecules are held together by covalent bonds, ions by electric forces. Ions also charge include additional things to consider when predicting its shape. It's important to store elements and compounds the right way for safety reasons and to help them keep what you need for testing. Solids have shape and volume, and you need to protect them from moisture, air, and other contaminants. Liquids have volume but no defined shape and need sealed and pressure resistant container. Gases have neither shape or volume, and they also need sealed and pressure resistant containments. Knowing what one it is helps you keep the storage element or compound safe, and you then know how to handle it. The forces between ions and molecules are ionic bonds, covalent bonds, hydrogen bonds, dipole-dipole interactions, and London dispersion forces. The stronger the force, the higher the melting and boiling point is. This requires a cool, dry, and stable environment. Ionic bonds is a chemical bond formed by electrostatic attraction between opposite charged ions. This happens between metals and non-metals. Covalent bonds is a chemical bond where one or more electrons are shared between an atom. This happens with non-metals. Hydrogen bonds is an intermolecular force that happens when a hydrogen atom is covalently bonded to an electronegative atom like oxygen. Dipole-dipole interactions happen between polar molecules. These molecules have a positive and negative end. The opposite charge ends of different molecules attract to each other, which then creates this interaction. London dispersion forces is the weakest type of intermolecular force. They come from fluctuations in the electron molecules, making instantaneous dipoles. Then they put dipoles in other molecules, which create a weak interaction between them. This has been my presentation. Thank you for listening.